Hey guys, I'm just Jersh, and welcome back to the next episode of The Binding of Isaac Repentance. You probably got a lot of questions. The background is different. We're doing a little redecorating in the recording slash gaming room, trying to make better use of the space. So that's why background's gonna look a little weird. No, we're not totally set on it yet. We're still moving stuff around. Finally getting some stuff put up on the walls, which is exciting. Hopefully audio quality sounds decent. Moved some acoustic foam from one side to the other. Hopefully it's still working fine. Lighting's gonna be funky for a little bit. I no longer have my trusty lamp in the corner to brighten my face. Instead, I have a window in front of me that is like blasting me with white light. So the white balance is all sorts of fricked up. I look a little ghostly. I tried to warm it up. You can see how much it warmed up the back. It's not the color of the wall. The wall is a much cooler toned gray than that. But I had to crank it up enough because I looked like sheet white, which is maybe just the color of skin that I have. Anyway, we'll get lighting. We'll figure all that stuff out. I wanted to show you something fun today. So I know we just did a Tainted Forgotten run last time. We did Tainted Forgotten to Mother. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and crank out Tainted Forgotten Beast on my own time. That way I can save you guys some watch time, and also maybe we can get this game done sometime this century. And then I started the next run. And the very first item that I found on this run was C-Section. And once I got C-Section, at first I was like, it doesn't do anything. What the heck? It doesn't do anything. As soon as I got C-Section, it shoots little skeleton babies. Dude, this lighting is so fricked up. Sorry, this is gonna be a jacked up episode. Maybe we, you know what? Maybe we go old school. Maybe it's like when we were back when I was recording in the basement for those couple of days, when the lighting was super messed up. Yeah, maybe I should have tested that before this. Hey, look, I wanted to just record this one because C-Section seems like a very cool item. Dude, he smacks! They be smacking. This seems like a cool synergy. And I didn't want such a potentially interesting synergy to go completely unnoticed, you know? If I just recorded this in my own time, or not even recorded this, if I just played this in my own time, you would have never gotten to see this very cool synergy. C-Section is an item that wasn't even like in working order until very recently in the game, until the patch. Actually, the only way to get it before, I believe, was using spin down dice. So I'm just happy. Don't want that. I'm just happy that it's finally in the game and in working order and doing some cool stuff. So I wanted to make sure we actually got to enjoy that. Blank card is potentially interesting. The question is, can I get 2 more cents before the floor ends? Can I get 1 more cent before the floor ends? If we can get 1 more cent, I'll pick up blank card, because I think blank card's pretty sick. Now this is weird. Okay, I'll take blank card. It's a weird way to play this character, don't get me wrong, because usually the name of the game is like throw the head and then go pick it up and then throw it again and then go pick it up, or like throw it and plant it in a good spot and start smacking. This actually gives us some like ranged ability. Like we can still, don't get me wrong, we can still just like throw the head and we can still smack, but it feels like dumb not to take advantage of the C-Section homing smacking tiers as well. Obviously, if we can make both like a great combo there, if we can have both of them dealing damage in that way, that seems awesome too. I think I did deal with the devil last run, so we'll do deal with the angel this one. Hello, I'm back, by the way. I believe last run is the run. Let's not do deal with the devil. Let's do deal with the angel just in case we get Stairway to Heaven, which will give us a lot of angel deals on the ascent up to home. I went and saw the new Spider-Man. I would highly recommend it. Blank card Temperance, blank card Moon. That takes us to No, that does not take us to the... It might take us to the red secret room. If it does, that's like free items every floor, and that's definitely what we want. Bad trip is a little unfortunate. Health down. Okay, so this is just the worst room of all time. Let's test this out. It does take us to the red secret room, which is going to give us the mark. Okay, so they must have changed the pool for that room, because it used to, I thought... That's horrible. It's only a 2-room charge? I guess because you can only use it once per floor, so, like... It loses a little bit of the luster, I guess. I went and saw Spider-Man. I'm assuming this just takes us back to that room. Yeah. Okay, so we're only going to get to use it once per floor, but it's a free item every single floor. That seems kind of good, so I'm going to keep it. Went and saw Spider-Man. Told you I'd report back. It's good. It's a solid movie. I saw a lot of people online saying, like, I haven't felt this way since I saw Endgame, and I was expecting kind of like a world-shatteringly good movie, and it's... This will be a spoiler-free review, by the way, so if you plan on going to see it yourself, do not fret. I will not spoil the movie for you. There may be... I will not, like, overtly be like, this character grows a 6th arm in it. This character gets thrown off the Empire State Building. I can't believe Spider... Okay, I'm not gonna, like, overtly, like, spoil any details. But there may be some, like, in just this general discussion, it's possible that there's just some, like, details that or ways that I describe things that could be mistaken, or that could be to the super sleuth out there, could be considered spoilers. So I'll give that as a warning. I'm not trying to overtly spoil anything, but if I say something you're like, I know what that means, there you go. So sorry. Or just don't watch. It's gotta be. Why would they make me go all the way down here for nothing? Okay, interesting. Gotcha. It was very good. It had some similarities to Endgame with regards to, like, it's tougher not to spoil than I originally thought. It did some very endgamey things in terms of, like, here we go. This won't give it away. In terms of, like, fan service moments, the whole... It's really hard to describe without giving away spoilers, huh? The whole movie, to some degree, exists as, like, a Spider-Man fan's, not to be gross, but like a wet dream, essentially. Like, there are times and things that happen that definitely just feel like they could have just ripped this from some, like, 4chan website of some Spider-Man Ultimate fan that was like, this is my perfect Spider-Man movie. Which is, I liked it, you know. Okay, here. From the trailers, if you saw the trailers, then you know that there is some melding of universes to some degree. I don't think that's a spoiler. If you watched the trailers, then you know that that's pretty... They lead with that. Doc Ock from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies that I grew up with, you know, is in the trailer. So, you know, that's not revealing any fancy info in my personal opinion. That doesn't feel spoily to me. We've been getting just a disgusting assortment of items. That's not so disgusting. In fact, I dare say that's pretty good. So, like, from the get-go, they made it clear that there was gonna be some melding of universes. And yeah, that's kind of how it feels while you're watching it and how it exists. It's very, I think fan servicey is a good word. It's just, like, chock full of references to, you know, if you're my age, which I think a lot of people, I was gonna say a lot of people are. I mean, a lot of people are a lot of ages, so that makes no sense. Dang, we got a blanket and 4.5 volt on the last floor. That would have been nice to have. I think my generation, as I talked in the last one, we kind of grew up with the Marvel movies, and not just the Marvel movies, you know, Sony's always owned Spider-Man, so they've done their own thing several times. You had the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies that I first grew up with, and then the Andrew Garfield version of the Spider-Man movies. Then you had now you've got a Venom spin-off. You had Venom that appeared in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3. There's a lot of universes of Spider-Man out there, and so I'm a fan of the concept of being like, yeah, that's there's a lot of those. What if we just like pretended that there weren't 10,000 different attempts to make a decent Spider-Man movie, and we just kind of melded them together. Again, no spoilers, no spoilers. But it's chock full of, I would say, fan service references to those properties. Whether it's like a sly little one-liner that you're like, oh my god, they said that in this movie. Or whether it's, you know, a character like Doc Ock showing up. So, if you have been a fan of the Spider-Man movies for a long time, if you've watched all of the different iterations of Spider-Man, if you were able to get through the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies and you didn't quit being a fan at that point, I'm sorry. No, not a roast. Definitely my least favorite of the three, if you want to call it three universes. Look, there's a lot of debates to be had about who's the best Spider-Man. I got a lot of nostalgia for Tobey Maguire. I think Tobey did a good job. But I honestly, like, if I'm gonna be objective, I think a lot of that's nostalgia. It's the first Spider-Man movie I saw as a kid. Never read the comics before that. My first interaction with Spider-Man. I'm gonna have a little bit of bias towards Tobey's iteration. However, I think Tobey nailed Peter Parker. He was the perfect nerd Peter Parker. I think Andrew Garfield did pretty well with the witty Spider-Man. Like, he was a good Peter Parker, or he was a good Spider-Man, but not a good Peter Parker. Tobey was a good Peter Parker, but a little questionable as a Spider-Man. Like, you see him take off his mask, and you're just like, that's a 60-year-old man who's actually only 20 somehow. No offense, Tobey. Tobey, I love you. Tobey's great. I think Tom Holland takes the cake as, like, melding the two of them together the best. To have both the witty, please don't hurt me. Thank you. Where'd my card go? What the heck is that? Vengeful spirit, hot-blooded. Check it and see. I've got a fever of 103. Okay. I think Tom Holland does the best of being, you know, the nerdy, sciencey Peter Parker, and the funny, quippy, chatterbox, talkative Spider-Man. So as much as my nostalgia tells me to say otherwise, I think he's the best Spider-Man. But you know, we'll leave that debate up for another day, perhaps. You can agree and/or disagree. However you feel. I'm not going to judge you. I think they all do pretty decently. Anyway, if you grew up with them, if you've enjoyed the Spider-Man franchise, the different Spider-Man movies, I think you will really like this movie. Again, I think fan servicey is the best way that I can describe it. And I don't think I think people throw that around sometimes, by the way, as like a downside. And I don't always necessarily think that's true. I think it can, when it's fan service to the point that it, like, destroys, you know, like, preconceived notions of, like, how characters have behaved in the universe for the entire time. It, like, just shatters all of, you know, years of world building and stuff like that. Star Wars. Episode 8 and 9, sorry. When it does that, and it just, like, takes a huge dump on, like, decades of work, just for the purpose of, like, wouldn't it be cool if, what if Palpatine came back? That's crazy. Wouldn't that be, whoa, that's so cool. People like Palpatine. that falls short in my personal opinion, but I don't think, in this case, I don't think this Spider-Man movie, I don't think the fan service is, like, overdone to the point of being just disgusting or ridiculous. Fool card. I think it does its job very well to the point of being fun, and it's a nice, fun kind of what-if scenario. And here's an issue I have with the Marvel franchise in general. I was talking last episode about how Endgame's kind of like the perfect, in my opinion, like jumping off point, and I still tend to agree with that. I think an issue that I have, with Marvel, especially as of Endgame. Spoiler alert, I guess, for Endgame, but like, that movie came out like 7 years ago, so come on, man. I think my issue with it at this point is, this is gonna sound stupid. This is gonna be one of the dumbest sentences I've ever said. Bloody bombs. Are all of the red room secret rooms the new pool? It used to be the angel pool. They probably were like, that's way too strong, let's change it. Is it just items that have the color red in them? Because so far we've gotten Deadeye, Mark, Vengeful Spirit, and Bloody Bombs, all of which have the color red. Is that actually the unifying characteristic of all of the items in that pool? They just have the color red? Not a judgment. It's an interesting decision. That's kind of an interesting pool. I feel like that probably has a great mix of items that are great and that are truly horrible. I feel like there's a nice assortment of the whole swath of red items. Shoot, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so Endgame, this is a ridiculous statement because this is a movie, this is a franchise about superhumans with superpowers doing superhuman things. But in Endgame, once they decided that time travel was allowed, once they introduced time travel, in my opinion, it made things very messy. Maybe just a little messy. Lionel messy. Don't be bad. It's not good, but it's not like run ruining. I think once they chose to introduce time travel into it, I don't want to say it's a cop-out, but I think it introduces some issues to where it's like, okay, well, if there's ever any issue in the future, just, you've already proven Thanos tried to he successfully wiped out half of the human population of the entire universe, and your answer is to just time travel and go back to where it didn't happen. And I know that they've tried to explain, like, well, it's messy, and if you go back in time and you mess up, you could have branching realities, so that's why we shouldn't do it. I get that, but like, you should just do that every time. Like, if there's ever any bad guys, you should probably just go time travel and, you know, put a pillow over them while they're never mind, that's a little brutal, sorry. But see what I mean by like cop out? Like, it was too easy an answer in my opinion, and I think it kind of not trivializes might not be the right word, but I don't know. Whenever I'm watching a movie now, a new Marvel movie, I'm just like, just go time travel. Yeah. So the realms of sci-fi are getting stretched a little bit. Again, this is like the nerdiest complaint of all time. Book of Revs is pretty good, but we already got the relics, so honestly, I think we're fine. I know this is the nerdiest complaint of all time. My superhero movies are getting a little bit too sci-fi. It's the dumbest. Please don't ruin everything. It's the dumbest complaint of all time, I know. The babies just seem to be spinning now. Oh, they follow me. Interesting. It's a stupid complaint, I know. It's a stupid complaint. I'm not going to apologize for it, though. Whoa. Okay. Doesn't do much for us. It quite literally does nothing. All right, let's just go. I think this is a one run. We just gotta get it. We could probably replace Moon Card at this point. I don't know if it actually does anything for us as we take our ascent. I guess we'll find out. Try it here. Yeah, it's definitely red items. That's a red item if I've ever seen one. Yeah, I know it's like a weird complaint. It's weird champ energy, and for that I apologize. But first they introduce time travel, then they introduce now they're introducing, like, you know, multi-dimensional, multi-universe things of that nature. And I was complaining in the last episode about, I don't think that's very good. I was complaining in the last episode about how I think that a lot of modern movie and media franchises are taking the idea of a cinematic universe a little bit too far. You know what's even further than a cinematic universe? A freaking cinematic multiverse where there are multiple iterations. We've essentially now, like, they're creating a narrative explanation for why there's different actors for different characters over the years. And I, for one, think it's fine to just be like, yeah, we recast him because he was not very good Incredible Hulk. Sorry, Bruce Banner. I think that's a fine explanation. I don't think we need to try to make it too dang confusing. And I don't mind the idea of the multiverse as a way to, like, bring these already existing universes together. Again, kind of fan servicey, but kind of cool at the same time. What I worry, and I can... Hello? Hello? Why are they just blasting infinitely? You piece? What I worry, and this is a legitimate worry based on the post-credit scene, which if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Not really a scene, but like a post-credit trailer, if you will. Oh, this should be a crawl space. Is like, is this their way forward? Am I now gonna have to, like, remember 17 different Spider-Mans and 17 different Captain Americas and 17 different Doctor Stranges and 17 it gets a little too complex. Like, just make the good movies. Just make the movies and make them good and I'll watch them. But, like, I personally don't need 19 of the same superhero. I'm good with one as long as you do a good job. As long as you make one of them and the one of them is good, then congratulations, you have won me over. Donkey Dong. Magician. Don't really need magician, so thank you, but no thank you. Latch key. I'll take the spirit heart. Thank you. Well, we got a couple of floors between tarot cloth and car battery and blank card. If we could just get a decent card, we are so... I mean, we're probably already unbelievably set. This run is amazing. From the moment I picked up C-Section, it was amazing. So we're probably already set, but, like, it could be even more set. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, I won't beat a dead horse too much. What I'll say is I think it's... Let's see if these do exist. They don't. Okay, moon card is worthless to us then. I will not beat a dead horse, but what I am here to say is if you're a fan of Star Wars, you have been for your entire life, I highly recommend going and giving it a watch. I think you will quite enjoy it. It's fun. It's a very fun movie. And at the end of the day, as much as I can complain about, my Marvel universe is getting too scientifically complex. As long as I can complain about that, Star Wars and Marvel, for me, I'm not a huge lore snob, even though I totally sound like one based on the conversations that I've had over the course of this episode, but both between roasting episode 8 and 9 of Star Wars and by talking about how I don't like the multiverse. As snobby as it sounds, I truly just like to watch those. To me, they're my action movies. I've tried to watch action movies before. There's a few that'll, like, are fine. Like John. I like John Wick. Who doesn't? There's a few that I find palatable, tolerable. But for most, I'm like, this is just mindless nonsense. And yeah, that's kind of what it is. I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie. is kind of just mindless nonsense. Is there a world they're building? Sure, I guess. Does it make any sense to do the people that watch it care? I'm sure there's some out there who are like very interested in the Fast and Furious cinematic universe, but my guess would be like 90% of the 5-year-olds that go watch those movies, the people that go watch those movies are just like cargo fast, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, shoot gun, haha fun. Like I don't think everything has to be like art, you know? And that's always what the Marvel and Star Wars movies have kind of been to me. You know, there's some, especially for the time period when the OG Star Wars came out, there's definitely some, like, you know, debate to be had about, at the time, especially some of the, you know, the natural special effects they were able to do, like the pragmatic manual special effects. There's something to be said there about it kind of breaking new ground and being way ahead of its time. But... and then they tried to do that with the prequels, but obviously CG was not quite where they thought it was going to be. Or where they hoped it would be. Or where at the time they were like, this has got to be the peak of where it'll never look better than this. Let's make a whole underwater city that looks like the inside of a fish tank. I think... where was I going with this? To me, the Marvel and Star Wars movies have always just been... fun. Like, give me cool lightsaber battles, give me fun training montages, give me epic space battles, give me a super cool bad guy that I can root against, but also don't make it Palpatine, please. If I could make one simple request, don't make it Palpatine, because like that's been done already. So like just also be original. Make it fun, but like also make it original. And yeah, that's kind of what. As long as I think if the Marvel movies keep making fun stuff, I'll be into it. And to me, that's what this Spider-Man movie was. We're here already. Holy bursh! Look, I'm not even gonna heal because I'm so confident. I accidentally healed. Trust me. I'm still confident. Don't think this is shooketh my confidence at all. I'm still very confident. I'm a little upset that I picked up blank card for 15 cents on the very first floor, and it's gonna do nothing for us. Because we have the moon card. We have no card of value whatsoever. But also I like don't think it matters literally at all. Because we are so strong. Take a look at this damage. Take a look at the damage my small baby army is outputting. Do you see him smacking? Do you see him smacking their freaking brains out, dude? Look at him go! Alright, so this is just a fantastic run. I'm glad I chose to record this. Like, this would have been... okay, so here's the question. Do I get dropped into the lava? Can you just stay right there? Oh, yeah. Okay, we win. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. This would have been just as fun to do, like, in my spare time. Look at him go after him, man. But it's certainly way more fun to get to share this awesome synergy with you guys. I also love the detail that, look at the spinning babies. Like, they had to, like, hand draw a lot of frames to get them spinning babies in there. And look at him just smack this man to pieces. It's so good, and they stick around for so long. Like, as soon as this next guy comes in, he's toast. Sick him, boys. Jump him, mug him. It's so good. All right, this is maybe one of the most fun runs I've ever had in my entire life. Mostly because I don't have to do anything. Just my small bone lord baby army is just absolutely shredding everything to pieces. It's so good. This guy will not be alive for long. They are... oh, maybe he's outspeeding them. Oh, he's outspeeding the babies. My army, come back. He's too fast, dude. They're like zooming off screen. Okay, stop, please. Thank you. Oh, they're back. They're here for so long. This has to be the most damage I've ever done in my Isaac career. That's insanity. Isaac's tomb has been unlocked, by the way. Poggy. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, don't worry. We'll get the webcam lighting figured out soon. It's not great. I also got to get some pillows for the new couch. You can finally see my Pokemon card table in the background, which is very exciting. We'll get it figured out. I'll get like a little corner lamp or something, and we'll be back in no time. Thank you for watching. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at how much more we have to do. I think we're darn close. One more run with you. Probably gonna stream you. 2 more runs with you. 3. 1 more run with you. 4, 5, 6. Potentially 6 more runs. And then of course we need to touch all the items. That's gonna be a bigger pain in the butt in and of itself. We'll probably just break greedier mode to do that. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.